Previously on Balls.
Are you finished? Yes, hi Mark.
How's it?
How's it going, buddy?
Fine, yeah?
All right. Are you at Augusta?
I am. I'm not on the golf course yet, but I'm in Augusta, yeah?
You're in the wine cellar, aren't you?
That would be nice.
Have you been in that wine cellar at Augusta?
Yes. Yeah, I have.
What an amazing collection of wines they've got, hey?
It's unreal, and the prices that they're selling to the members for it, even more unreal.
Yeah.
They basically sell them at cost.
It's one of the best wine cellars you'll ever find anywhere in the world. They've got things from 1960, got cobwebs on them. That's how good they are.
They've got reserves and futures and stuff in there from even further back than that.
Yeah. Amazing place, Augusta. Just the history around it, apart from the golf course. But that carpet that God has just dropped down on that part of Augusta in Georgia, and just with the trees and the magnolias, the best golf tournament in the world. The Masters is underway, and an Immelman has won one. Can never take that away from him. He's got the green jacket. Let's start there. How's Trevor doing? Is he? Does he feel up for it?
Trevor is really feeling up to it. You know, Augusta, Georgia is a very special place to him, obviously, you know, having won in 2008. The last few weeks, he hasn't gotten out of his golf as well as what he's played. You know, he's hit the ball from tee to green really nicely, but has not converted on the putting surfaces as well. But he said, to me, he had a good week in practice leading in here, and he's feeling confident. Very happy with the way the golf course is right now. We've had what was a very warm early part of the year, and then it got quite cold, so that there's a good full covering of grass, and really it's just in tremendous shape. For me, I think as good as what I've seen the golf course in terms of just underfoot conditions for the last few years.
Yeah. All right, 8 South Africans playing this year. A lot of people are talking about Brandon Grace. Now, it's not a tournament first-timers generally go and just walk in there and win. It's happened once or twice, but not very often.
Yeah, I think Fuzzy Zeller is I think the only first-timer, you know, because there's just so much nuance to the golf course, and, you know, understanding the influence of Race Creek on the greens, and, you know, is one thing, but you know, the physical aspect of the course side, I think just getting over the emotions and the nerves of playing in the Masters, you know, tournament, it holds such aspirational value, especially for young people, you know, to come in here and get your wits about you and keep your emotions in check for 4 rounds to be able to compete is a gargantuan ask. So, you know, it's possible if you're playing well, but I think just the emotions and the mental challenges of it make it very, very difficult.
Well, it just says a lot for Trevor's win in 2008, because, I mean, no one had given him a chance of going and winning it. And also, when you go down that final round, you get around Amen Corner, there's a couple of big names on your shoulder. As a relative novice on that golf course, that can be enough in itself just to absolutely make you crumble. I mean, we've seen bigger names and bigger men disappear on that final round at Augusta.
Yeah, absolutely, and just the whole setup of the golf course, you know, with the big, tall Georgia pines, you know, down in those valleys in that area, you're talking about 13, 16, you know, 12 down in the low portion of the green, you know, on Sunday afternoon. Then you get the gallery roars going up, and they just resonate and almost rumble around the course. You know, when you're in the midst of it, as a spectator, it gets the hair on the back of your neck standing up. So you can imagine what it must be like when you're standing over a 3-iron to number 15 green with all the noise going up around you. I'm sure it's very, very challenging.
Yeah, 3-iron for some, 6-iron for me.
For your fourth.
Yeah.
Hey,
3 6-irons for him.
Easy. Take it easy now. All right then, Mr. Immelman. Let's have a look. Who do you fancy? Let's get straight out there. Who do you fancy for this week?
Shall I go out on a limb?
Yes. Come on.
Tiger Woods.
Oh, that's unpredictable.
Well,
be silly not to.
It's not an obvious limb as it would have been about 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, well, look, he's been playing great, and again, Augusta National, if you watch what happens around you, typically people that have contended there always show up on the leaderboards because of the way the golf course poses a certain examination, and if you've got it figured out and you're playing well, you know, you will show up come, you know, Sunday afternoon. So, you know, you got to feel Tiger's going to be around. He's been really, over the last few victories he's had, have not been really good from tee to green, but he's been tremendous with a putter in his hand, and obviously that is one of Augusta National's major examinations. So Tiger, you got to like. You know, Rory, I was out in Texas at the Valero Texas Open last week. Rory McIlroy is really coming into some form.
So, sorry, just clear something up with me with Rory. Has he gone back to Titleist?
No. He's with Nike.
I saw a story that he was getting rid of the Nike clubs and going back to Titleist.
No. He's all Nike'd up. No, he's and really, I had a brief chat with him. He actually says he's loving the equipment. He's got this 5-wood that I think is going to stand him in good stead this week. That he can carry just a mile in the air. So he's very happy with the equipment, playing well.
Take a closer look at those clubs, Mr. Immelman. I think you might see some Titleist machinery there under Nike swish.
Well, they're all made in the same place, apparently.
I actually did. I have had a very close look at the clubs, and they're Nike machinery.
All right.
As God is my witness.
Just checking. All right, but he'll learn. He'll come back one day. Anyways.
and then back to your question about who's good picks. I honestly feel like Charles. I chatted with him last week in Texas. He's feeling very good about how he's hitting it. If he can just sort out one or two challenges with a putter in his hand, I think he'll be there. But looking very calm, coming in here on the heels of some good form earlier this year. And, he's won around there, so now he's comfortable with the environment. So I think Schwartzel, for the guys that are putting a little wager on, maybe a good pick.
And Mark, what's quite interesting, besides the fact that all three of those people that you mentioned, they have fantastic short games, is that they're all very long off the tee. And I was reading an article where they quoted Tiger Woods, and he says that he feels the winner's going to be one of those guys that can bang it off the tee, and the winner at Augusta is generally long, rather than the shorter hitter, which is an exception to the rule.
Absolutely. So I mean, the thing about Augusta National is obviously with the severity and the speeds of the greens, and there's these little areas on these green complexes that they locate the pins on, and if you can hit short irons into these targets, your chances of keeping the ball on these little plateaus and ledges and stuff are way improved. Whereas if you're coming in there with a 4 or a 5 iron, it's just infinitely more difficult. It's not impossible, but you've got to like the guy who's coming in there with an 8 iron versus a 5 iron. You've got to like his chances. So yeah, it does. Well, it's kind of how the game has gone, but at Augusta National, with the speeds of the greens, if you can hit some shorter clubs into some of these targets, it does make getting the ball closer to the flag easy. Everyone talks about Augusta National being a chipping and putting challenge, which obviously it is. But really, I feel like to win around Augusta National, you've got to hit your iron as well. If you're a crisp iron player like a Langer, or I'm trying to think of, Jack Nicklaus was always fantastic with irons. Really good iron players are rewarded around here, and if you bang it off the tee and you get yourself some short irons in there that you can convert with, that's why I think those sorts of players do well around here.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying one of Tiger Woods, Charles Schwartzel, or Rory McIlroy? Those are your picks.
Yeah, and if I had to go for a dark horse, I haven't really thought about that very much, but I'd like to think Trevor would go well. I'm always hopeful for him. I'd like to see him turn a little.
Is he 100% though? I mean, is he fitness-wise, everything now sorted out fitness-wise 100%?
Absolutely, he is really 100%. Physically he's all there. It's just, as I say, the challenge with every golf tournament, but especially these major championships, is sorting through your emotions. So, I feel like if Trevor gets a good first round in and he sort of gets a little mojo going on, he's been there. He knows what it takes to win. So, in terms of dark horses, I'd look at players that have been successful there in the past and know how to play the place, and then play into a little bit of form on Thursday, Friday.
I think Jose Maria was like sort of did nothing when he won his second one.
Think about Crenshaw's second win.
Crenshaw,
he has been playing horribly, but it's the kind of place that, if you've won or if you've contended here before, you understand Augusta National and you understand what it takes. And so I think the dark horse looks through the folks that have been good here before, that just maybe not on top of their games right now, that play into a little form, and then on the weekend they know how to convert.
Yeah. And just very quickly, Mark, Louis Oosthuizen, having come so close last year, do you think that'll obviously be in the back of his mind that he can go all the way and do it?
As long as he doesn't eagle, which was a 2.
He's proved to himself that he can do it, and so he's got a beautiful game for it. He drives the ball along. He's obviously a beautiful swinger and hits the ball very flush. I think the question for Louis is with the putter in the hand, because he's streaky. Last year he putted fantastically well for 4 rounds, and so if he can get that ordered, I like him. I think South Africa's contingent this year is obviously large, but as far as just good players are going, we have some really, really strong guys in this field, and I'd love to see our flag there at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the week.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing with Louis, if you're hitting the driver nicely and you get down to the same situation, don't go and change to a 3-wood. Just hit the damn driver. If you're hitting it well, hit the damn driver.
Well, I was, to your story, Darren, last week I had the radio call for PGA Tour and Sirius XM, and I was following the final group on the weekend, so I had Billy Horschel, who was playing beautifully well, and the conditions were very tough, swirly winds and stuff, and it was tight, daunting off the tee. And he just got up there and lashed driver down the middle every time, and I asked him in the one interview, I'm like, you don't back down with that drive. And he's like, you've got to go with it. He goes, in the game nowadays, it's getting long.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm confident that I'm going to hit it. So to your point with Louis, go up, hit that driver, make your way with the thing. And Augusta lets you make an error or two off the tee, so he can drive it well, that's why he contended last year.
Absolutely. Mark, always lekker to chat to you. Enjoy your week at Augusta National. Please send our best to Trevor and any of the other South African guys as well. Please send our best regards to him, and we're always rooting for him. And thanks for chatting. We'll probably maybe catch up with you next week, okay?
I look forward to it, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Mark. Cheers, Mark.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There we go. Mark Immelman joining us from Augusta National, right there in the middle of the course.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za